Hello everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at some more fantasy for Conquest by Bellum Games as I check out the Efreet Sword Dancers and Flamecasters for the Sorcerer Kings. Okay, our Sorcerer King Efreet Flamecasters. They can also make Efreet Sword Dancers. Here we see the some of the details on the plastics along with their backstory, and then the actual assembled models. So 3 large flame casting djinn, I suppose. They may be some other form of nefarious Sorcerer King conjuration. We'll find out in a moment. You get your bag of bases and stands for playing both the skirmish and mass battle game. We get our paperwork, so the 2 activation cards, Flamecaster and Sword Dancer. Gorgeous artwork on those. I really like where they're gone with it. We get our assembly instructions. So based off the renders, this is essentially an A3 poster sized fold out. One side has your Flamecasters, your ranged unit. All 3 build in a fairly standard fashion. They are monopose. So there's not a huge amount of flexibility in the construction, but then the models themselves have been sculpted to have that sort of baked in. The other side has our combat unit, the Sword Dancers. And again, each page is a build. Can't see that there are any alternative options beyond the 2 types, but we will see. There is a rotate part. I've not seen that before, but I see it on this flame. So potentially that's going to go in an unusual way. I shall let you know once I've built them. Sprue wise, we have 2. So 1 large sprue that contains most of the components for the Efreet. Everything is numbered and arrows point towards the correct position. So when you go to grab 44, you know which one 44 is. It won't be a mystery. Some really nice detail on the plastics. And then we have the second smaller sprue, like a third of the size, has another Efreet body. In fact, it may be a complete model in here. There's certainly the body, sword arms for the Sword Dancer and the casters, flames there as well. So that'll be handy if they're popping individuals into something like First Blood packs, then they have a little mini sprue that will do it all. Okay, let's get our Burning Boys built. Alright then, the Efreets. So they can either be built as the Flamecasters, in which case they have a 12 dice short-ranged flaming barrage of torrential fire from the sky as a sort of ranged version, which is lovely. A bit up close and personal, but lovely. Or with the Sword Dancers, they can get really up close and personal and then go slicing and dicing. Okay, so I've gone with the Sword Dancers. And as you can see, they are delightfully large figures. This in question is the tallest, I believe, and comes in around 90 about 95mm to the top of the sword, and around 72 to eye level. Intricate build on the things like the flames. The bodies themselves mostly simple, 2-part front and back, and then maybe a bit of detail like a loincloth. And then the arms and the head were one piece, just going straight in there, sitting in one place. But then the flames, depending on the Efreet in question, it might be 2 halves, it might be 3 with a central part, or it might be 2 halves and then 2 smaller halves on top to conjoin it, to get this really dynamic swirling fire that they are coming out from. Detail on them is really nice. One of my favourites here with this strange banded turban. So a really distinctive look for them. Clean up on the flames is a little bit annoying. There were some big sprue gates in places, and I couldn't work out whether they were tips of flames or where I should be cutting the sprue gate off, just to get them to lock together. So a bit of dry fitting is required on these, but I mean, the detail on it is absolutely great. And then our final stalking forward, ready to slam straight into somebody like a emissary of fire should, with those wicked curved weapons. I can just imagine them slicing and dicing like Captain Nemo in the wonderful League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, lest we forget. So those are our sword dancers. Game-wise, like I say, I think these, for me, I much prefer these as a melee version, although the short-range torrential fire ensuing Flamecasters, I mean, they've got their place. If anybody comes near them, they can really reach out and touch someone with a, I suppose, like an 18-inch threat range, because 12-inch fire and about a 6-inch move first. So they have potential, but you want to use them well, and you want to keep them as a sort of a second line, I imagine, to hit, and then hopefully buff or heal them up using some of your casters and their rituals.
There we go then, folks. The Efreet Sword Dancers. Flamecasters, nice models, short range, bucket load of attacks, torrential fire, all great rules. But I feel like there are other things that will do that job better for the Sorcerer Kings. So went with the Sword Dancers as a punchy block of fire elemental death. And the miniatures look absolutely superb to boot. Let me know what you think below. I'm going to move on. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.